Hey everyone, welcome back to Nintendoverse. Today we're going to take a look at what Nintendo Network was, especially when there were people staying online long after the shutdown of the service. So what was Nintendo Network? Nintendo Network launched in 2012. It was Nintendo's unified online platform for 3DS and Wii U consoles, replacing the earlier Nintendo Wi-Fi connection system, which had quickly become outdated. So when was Nintendo Network officially active? Well, Nintendo Network was announced in early 2012 and went live with the 3DS and later the Wii U, and it remained active until it was officially shut down on April 8th, 2024. So where did it operate? Well, Nintendo Network was available globally. It was better integrated across all major regions, that being Japan, North America and Europe. Nintendo Network was built into both the console software and online services like Miiverse and Nintendo eShop. So what did it operate then? Well, Nintendo Network operated online multiplayer matches and game leaderboards. It also operated the Nintendo eShop, which is Nintendo's digital marketplace for games, DLCs, demos and patches. Additionally, it operated the Miiverse social network. Finally, Nintendo Network operated the Spot Pass and Street Pass services, system updates, messaging apps like SwapNote, and streaming apps such as Netflix and YouTube. So what were Nintendo Network's key features? Nintendo Network offered the new simple Nintendo Network IDs and account system, as well as friend lists, which only allowed up to 100 friends at the time, and the ability to block users. It also allowed for Miiverse with integrated in-game posting and commenting, as well as voice and video chat via Wii U chat, in-game leaderboards, and ratings. So why did it start to decline? Ultimately, Nintendo Network began to decline due to the Nintendo Switch, with Nintendo launching the new Nintendo Switch Online service for free, and eventually moving towards subscription-based services. Also due to the migration from Nintendo Network IDs to the Nintendo account system, better suited for modern cross-device ecosystems. So who stayed online after the shutdown? Well, after April 8th, 2024, new logins to the Nintendo Network were blocked, but existing active sessions remained online until they were disconnected by users. Prior to the shutdown of Nintendo Network, FishGuy6564 and their friend Gearworks had launched bots to race each other in Mario Kart 7. However, 1 month and 13,151 races later, Gearworks had officially disconnected due to a hardware crash. This left FishGuy6564 with 6,495 wins and Gearworks with 6,656 wins, putting Gearworks in the lead. This meant that from now on, FishGuy6564 would have to run victory laps as to not end the connection with Nintendo Network, as there would be no possibility of reconnecting. 98 days post-shutdown. Slithery Sheep disconnected from Super Mario Maker due to a power outage. This meant that Nintendo Network was now officially dead. On the Wii U, that is, because there's more. This meant that there was only one player connected now, FishGuy6564. About a week later, suspiciously, the Nintendo Network ID servers went under maintenance for 4 hours. This didn't affect FishGuy6564, as the 3DS line of systems didn't use the Nintendo Network IDs. 209 days post-shutdown, FishGuy6564 disconnected from Nintendo Network. This was because their new 2DS XL had crashed. Apparently, the Wi-Fi chip in the system had died from being used for so long, and many questioned whether or not a one-player race counted as a valid Nintendo Network connection. However, as router logs on Gearworks proved, FishGuy6564's console was actively using Nintendo Network to try to reconnect to Gearworks, even though Gearworks had disconnected 3 months prior. This marked the end of Nintendo Network. For good, this time. So what came after Nintendo Network? Well, officially, Nintendo had released Nintendo Switch Online on September 18th, 2018 as a free service. Later, it became a paid subscription. Why do we need to pay a subscription to play online, Nintendo? Anyways, unofficially, Nintendo Network released in beta in late 2023, developed in anticipation of Nintendo Network's April 2024 shutdown. It is an absolutely amazing service. I highly recommend you check them out, as they've done some amazing work preserving Nintendo Network. I mean, they archived a total of 10,610,412 online courses on Super Mario Maker. That is incredible. If you want to check them out, I'll have a link down below in the description. So, what now? Well, since the official shutdown of Nintendo Network, Nintendo have continued to fully move forward with Nintendo Switch Online as its flagship online service. Now it's a subscription, because everybody loves those! Okay, before we end the video, I would like to announce that I now have a Discord server. You can join using the link on screen or down below in the description, and I hope to see you there. A massive thank you to the members of the Nintendo Network After Hours team. I wouldn't have been able to get the information about who was online post-shutdown without them. Thanks for exploring what happened to Nintendo Network with me. Do you have any memories of Nintendo Network? Or maybe Miiverse? Drop your stories in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe and hit that bell for more Nintendo deep dives. See you next time, and keep gaming.